So I feel like we haven't really talked about enemas in a long while, and I've been thinking about doing one on Patreon, and just like to show the entire process of what I do. There are tons of YouTube videos on this, and so, there really isn't no wrong way to do an enema. And so yeah, just look it up, and like, you'll find someone that maybe it's like you like the way they do it, but I definitely do my own thing. But doing an enema, it really is helpful in your skin lightening I guess journey. It is one of those things where if you are also on like glutathione or MSM, this can help definitely up that. I wouldn't necessarily say just be on topicals and do an enema. Like, it definitely works better if you're also taking internal lighteners. And so, with enemas, there's so many different ways you could do it. I mean, you could do an enema bulb, or you could do an enema bucket, or you could do an enema bag. If you're going to be doing these, like a lot of these, and you have time for it, enema buckets are great, but enema bulbs, they are, I guess they're reusable to an extent, so but they kind of help save on time. So if you're one of those people who never really have time, I would say, oh, get an enema bulb. After a couple of uses, of course, you'll have to replace it. With the enema bucket, it lasts longer than an enema bulb, but also you have to have like a chunk of time kind of sat out in your day to actually do this. There are people who do enemas every single day, and honestly, I don't think you would have to go that far to do an enema every single day, especially if it's a coffee. We're talking about coffee enemas too, so I need to be very specific. We're talking about coffee enemas because coffee enemas are the ones that boost your glutathione production. Like, it super boosts it. But also coffee enemas, like, it's basically removing any heavy metals from you, any toxins. Also, I don't know how to put this. I don't want to say worms, but it's more like just, parasites. Sometimes if you're eating like a lot of raw fish, or if you have a certain type of diet and maybe red meat that isn't cooked completely, sometimes people have like different parasites. They'll see it when it's coming out during the enema. It isn't anything painful, like it doesn't hurt them, but the coffee enema is the only enema that can actually kill those parasites. And when people do see these, like, they didn't know that they had them. So like I said, like, it's nothing that's gonna like put your life in jeopardy or anything, but just know that it is something that has happened before with people. I don't think it's anything that you should be like, really freaked out about, but just know if you eat a certain type of diet, you could potentially see this. Yeah, because these are the little parasites that'll be in your food, but usually it's just if you're eating, raw fish, so a lot of sushi, or if you like your steak medium rare and you've been eating, a lot of like red meats and things like that. For food that's cooked, we really don't see a whole lot of this, but anywho, off on a tangent. I just thought I would throw that out there. When you do more research into enemas, you're gonna come across this anyways, so I'm not really saying anything that no one else has said before. It's just a part of the game because coffee enemas, they are strong enough to kill basically anything gross like that that's in there. So if you're new to enemas completely, I would not recommend you do a coffee one for your first enema. I would say for enemas in general, you need distilled water. So you would just be doing just a regular distilled water enema, and that would be enough for you. You don't really have to get into anything fancy. With coffee enemas, it's such an extreme flush out of just like toxins and heavy metals that you might feel a little lightheaded doing it. It's gonna clean you out basically, and so that's why I can't completely say, oh, if it's your first time you should do a coffee enema, because like your first couple times doing it, it can, your body's gonna have a very physical reaction to it. Though after your first 1 or 2 times, and I mean, if you feel like you have a pretty clean diet, it should probably be fine. But I know for me, when I did my first, it was a couple months ago, after not having done any type of enema for like a really long time, when I did my first couple months ago, I was like, holy crap, I didn't know I had these many toxins in me. So this time, I'll be doing it on Patreon, but I'm pretty certain it's gonna take something out of you. Like, maybe afterwards you might feel like you have to go lay down just because it's just bringing up a whole lot of crap out of your gut. It's wonderful for gut health. It's wonderful for, your large intestines, your small intestines. Some of us have just crap that basically gets caked onto the inside of our get intestinal walls. And so doing something like this, or I think it's hydrotherapy, that's usually the only way you can get this off. And so you guys know, if you don't keep that area cleaned out, like well cleaned out, over time your body just starts to reabsorb all of that waste. And so it's like our body basically takes out all the crap out of our food, out of our drinks, out of the air, but basically out of everything. And then, you know, we basically have it come out through excrement, but not everyone can push all the excrement out. And so basically it's just reabsorbed into your blood. So getting that out by doing a flush, even if it's just a regular enema, that's really, really, really helpful. So we're just talking about coffee enemas because coffee enemas have the power of boosting your glutathione like crazy amounts. And then also, you know, parasites, it can kill parasites, and, you know, different heavy metals. Not to say that doing a regular enema flush can't take out heavy metals, but it's just, because really all of those toxins that are like caked onto the inside of your, you know, intestines and all that gross stuff, you know, basically some of that's going to come out. But for coffee, it's going to stimulate the bile production. And so this is why I don't feel like you should feel like you have to do an enema every single day. Number one, you don't really want your body getting used to having to have an enema to help you do a bowel movement. You should be able to do a bowel movement naturally just by eating, you know, a balanced diet, getting your fiber and getting enough water. If you're doing those two things, and also if your body's active, it'll help move things along. So you should be able to do that on your own. You wouldn't want your body to get used to that, but I loved doing it at least once a week, and not only did it keep things clear and clean, but it definitely helps you absorb any other supplement or vitamin that you're taking. Even if you're taking it orally, it helps you absorb it better, because going back to getting all of that caked on feces and things like that are in your intestines, like, that's just going to be reabsorbed. And so getting all of that out of there is just going to help you basically, you know, stay, I guess, healthier longer. People like swear by this. Like, people do this, like people who are afraid of cancers, or any really sickness. Like, you could like do a deep dive on enemas and find so much just gold. Of course, we're doing it for skin, you know, reasons, skin benefits. One of the cool things about it is that after doing a coffee enema, you will see a little bit of lightening with your skin. Well, I won't say lightening, it's more of like a glowy, I don't know. It's just whatever boost, whatever flush that you're getting during it. Like, it's like literally like a flush throughout your skin. That's why like I really, really liked doing them. You can add things to your coffee enema, and so you could add MSM, dissolve that in the coffee, or you could add glutathione. I've done both, and sometimes I've just done one or the other, and sometimes I just do coffee. Honestly, you're winning even if you're just doing a coffee enema, so don't really overthink it. It's something that's really great to do, and so you definitely should make a habit of doing it. Like I said, there's different methods that might easier fit into your busy schedule, because not everyone has a whole lot of time to be sitting on a toilet for, you know, 20 to 30 minutes, but it's just definitely something that you should look into if you have not already. I know I've made a lot of videos on this, but it's something I want to get back into doing. Another thing is that when we're doing our rectal syringes, basically, if you've ever seen the flush with your skin that you get, or just that glow after doing like a rectal syringe for a couple hours, then basically that's what you're gonna get when you're doing a coffee enema, except it's gonna be more pronounced. So with the coffee enema, I like that if you're caffeine sensitive, which I am, since it is going up the opposite way instead of being digested, it won't affect you. So it won't really give you the jitters or anything. If you usually get acne from caffeine, you won't see any bad side effects at all. So you'll get all of the great benefits of it without the side effects. So just know that if you're doing coffee enemas and usually you're worried about caffeine, of course you can find like a decaf coffee to do this with, and I've never tried it, but I've never had any issues doing a coffee enema with just regular coffee. One of the big things that I would recommend is that you drink a lot of water after your enema. Like, you should probably drink anywhere from add an extra 30 ounces of water to your water for that day, if not more, because it will pull out a lot of just the moisture and the water out of your body. And so you want to make sure that you're hydrated. Really, that's the only like medical risk associated with coffee enemas, is that dehydration, and people having side effects from dehydration afterwards. So Make sure that you're drinking lots and lots of water. Probably 30 ounces isn't enough, so you should probably boost those numbers up afterwards. So you should definitely be drinking more than 30 ounces of water a day. I'm just saying, make sure that you're drinking double the amount you would usually drink on the days that you're doing your enema.